Hey guys, this is my end of day recap. Before I get started here, please retweet me on Twitter or X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and like the video if you like it, and leave comments below. Appreciate it. Okay, guys. So some things going on here that I'm seeing in the markets. Um uh, so basically, we're below this green. We're above this call wall from last week. So this is constructive for the bulls. As long as we hold above this call wall, it is more bullish than bearish. We came back down. We tested it today, tested the call wall, and we're supporting it so far today. So, going into tomorrow, you have to lean to think that call wall is being defended and the opportunity is more likely to the upside than downside. On the flip side, though, below the green line right there on our trend, that means the momentum is not necessarily on our side. So we don't, whatever, if we do go up, it's probably going to be on light momentum. So be mindful of that because we are below that green line. Above that green line, then the momentum will likely return to our side. So be very mindful here on SPY. With that being said, okay, uh, we are currently below the Sunday night opening print, and we got this trend line right here. So, so basically, the only resistance we have right now is last night's opening print. Okay, so clearing that probably is going to uh, make it a lot nicer for the bulls tomorrow if we were to clear that. Okay, Qs, similar situation. We got this. They were acting much worse in today's session relative to last week. We never did even come up and do a hard test of that Sunday night. So be very mindful going into tomorrow's session. Um, so just be very mindful of that going forward here. So we have crossed out as a trend, but we did not migrate lower yet. And we have not filled that Thursday gap yet here on the Qs. So on the bearish case, this is the one we really got to focus, keep all eyes on tech. Okay, heads up, telemarketer, can't believe it. I do want to say Friday though we did come down. We back tested the call wall, similar to SPY. We have actually back tested the call wall, so this is constructive to the upside. So you don't want to get too bearish here. On the shorter term here, there's another trend line I can actually put on there. Telemarketers had to call right whenever I start my video. So we got two trend lines there that we're potentially breaking. We could be breaking to the downside there. Similar situation, we're below the green line. Momentum is really not on our side below the 50% of that channel. So this is the bearish side of the channel in theory. So be very mindful of that. The good thing about it is we closed up here and we didn't close below here. So, the 481.40 below that and open tomorrow, that could get quite dicey for the markets. Heads up on that. Russell was really bearish today. We had some problems with the regional banks. It broke down. This was the anchored VWAP from Friday. I used the same anchor from last Monday, and I extended it out for today. Okay, and so we broke a critical. The last week's trend. We went into last week's trend, closed Friday, and we broke down below it today. So we walked down one tier, but we have this area right here is still a supporting area. Uh, that's why it's a big box. There was a lot of open interest calls in this area. We held that area. So there is no reason to think we should have been swing short. Okay, so just be mindful of that. There's still no reason to be swing short. But this thing is acting a lot weaker. And this was another critical area that we broke. So this was a critical support. The week of 9/15/24, breaking back into that. So basically, right after Labor Day, that week we came in, this is that price point that we opened at, and we're currently trading back inside of that area. So be very mindful of that. We're still fighting at Labor Day sell-off week here on IWM. So be very mindful of that scenario in your trading. Diamonds. Really hanging out pretty good here. We're below the uh, um, Sunday Open. The Sunday Open was, let me go here, 15-minute maybe. Yeah, our Sunday open was right here. That's 9:30. I can't. The diamonds aren't going to show up there. I can put YM on there though. I can show it to you real quick. YM at Sunday night. So we opened down here. So we are above the Sunday open on the YM. So this is actually looking a lot better. So we are above the Monday open or the Sunday night open right here. So that's way down here, and we closed above that. So that is quite constructive here on that. So be very mindful of that. And I think that's right. Yeah. No. Sunday night opens over here. No, we're below it. I'm sorry. Right there is our Sunday night open. Right there. I'm sorry. Accurate correction. So we are below the Sunday night open. And what 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is important too because that's the London exchange and London. So we are above the London open. So right there in limbo, no man's land here for the diamonds. So keep that in watch. I did want to point out on Apple. Over here on the 30-minute again. Apple, we came down to the anchored view app and we closed right on it today. So we're right at very major support on Apple. If you are bullish to markets, you would want to be going net long Apple tomorrow. Now, what I do want to say here, tech has been acting very weak today. Microsoft pre-market broke. Pre-market at Microsoft broke its anchored view app from last week, and it could not even get back above it. So is Apple going to follow the same suit? Okay. So so it looks like Microsoft led, and maybe Apple is starting to walk down with Microsoft going into tomorrow. So that is why I'm very concerned. These are the two biggest companies in the world, and maybe both of them are starting to walk down from these highs. So be very mindful of that. That's a big time warning for me. Another thing, Nvidia didn't really go anywhere today, right here. But here, I want to point out here, we're still down here in a bear flag zone here, not able to break out. So that end of day close on the 30 minutes, so the last hour of, if we get above that, then that might be a signal. If we come in gapping above the last hour, today's last hour, if we were to come in tomorrow gapping up here, so we're 11660 area, you know, the down, there might be a chance to come in there and go net long on Nvidia, but otherwise this is setting up to be a potential short. So be very mindful of this. Similar situation, we're back into those Labor Day, the beginning of Labor Day, threatening to break back down into that Labor Day trading range here on Nvidia after just so be very mindful. We've been chopping around it for a while. We're threatening to go back down into that area. The reason I mention that is because how brutal that week got, and here we are flirting with that same area with Nvidia. Okay, Tesla, we actually came up into the call wall, the 250 call wall. There is a chance that we could be going up to the next level. It's in the 280s, I think. Let me go over here, Tesla, real quick. 260. So you got 44,000 at 260. Yeah. So yeah, that's our next big one, 260. So these even numbers, 44,000 open interest on that. But yeah, so Tesla right into that major call wall, suggesting that this is an area that could very easily be where profits are taken. Keep the 250 in place for the rest of the week. So be very mindful of that. And the same token, Meta came right up into its 575 call wall. Now, this is an all-time breakout trade, so this is the one that should not have had much weakness at all. Instead, it did. So this is a big warning here. Okay, we're getting a big warning. And you see the anchored view app on this? See how we're doing this channel? Coming in tomorrow, this could very easily be rolling back down to our anchored view app. And we do have this FOMC gap, the Thursday gap, that has not been satisfied. Put that down here on my chart. FOMC gap down here. Okay. So coming back down to 550 is not out of the cards at all. So we'll be very mindful of that. We haven't even back tested this massive call wall. Typically, moves up they really do need to back test these massive call walls. I would only be looking at meta to the bearish side for the next couple of days until we get this. Now this can go sideways into that call wall, or they can't really go sideways. It has to come down to the 550. Sorry, so just be very mindful of that. Another one, Amazon. We're getting near the call wall. We haven't actually tagged it yet. That's 195. We had rotation into the XLY today. So we kicked off a new quarter, strong rotation into the XLY. If I put that up here real quick. Okay, so we had a very strong rotation in XLY, but we also have a call wall from last week. That was a minor call wall from last week, the 198. There's a major call wall at 200. It looks like we might be going to that 200 here on XLY. Let me double check the open interest. 202.50 is the big open interest coming into today. So it does look like that they might want to be migrating this up to the $200 level here with the XLY. Other things that I'm looking at here, Google. I think it's bearish. Oh yeah, it continued to go bearish here. So Google, in my opinion, is a bearish chart. It's probably going to be one of the first ones to fill its gap. So I'm looking for the gap fill on this one. I don't even have that drawn out right. Remove. I'm looking for a backfill. I got it. Okay, there it is. Right there is where the gap starts. I'm sorry. Had it drawn out wrong. So this is our anchored VWAP from last week. I think it's a really good odds we're going to come down into this tomorrow at the minimum. And then there's a very good trend line support right through there, right below that gap. If I was doing anything, I would be targeting that right there. This trend line support. You see how you got these trend lines crossing? I think there's a very good chance that we're coming right back down to the 160 area here for Google. So heads up on that. Amazon, Nvidia, AMD. I don't need to go through that one. Tesla. So I did it, big boys. I'm gonna cut it short here. Netflix continuing. We're probably. Oh yeah, look at Netflix. Wow. So Netflix was up pretty good early this morning. Now we're coming back down. Heads up on this. We're right back into that anchored VWAP from last week, threatening a break. So heads up on that. We're coming into tomorrow. We might be pushing back below that. I was actually looking to the bearish side this morning. I was coming in because the way we closed Friday, we were trying to break this anchored VWAP, the momentum line. This 700 area is a major area for Tesla, for Netflix. And here we are. We're right back to it. And the fact that we're coming down into that bull bear cross line, this is 2 days in a row now, kicking off a new quarter. I really think the odds favor a break of momentum here on Netflix. So let's definitely keep this on watch. I mean, they've had 2 days to break it out to new all-time highs. They couldn't find any buyers, at least for the next past 2 days. So we'll see what happens on that. Okay, that's if you like my videos, like I said, be sure and like them and leave me some comments and stuff. Thanks a lot for listening, and I will see you guys in the morning. I'll give you a heads up where prices are to start the day around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning before I go to the Y. Okay, thanks a lot.